A stormy night. Thunder rumbles across the sky in Kibera. In a narrow alley between broken tin roofs, Ao and Amara huddle together, trembling under a makeshift tarp. Suddenly, a figure approaches. It's Mr. Jabari, but this time he's not wearing his usual worn-out clothes, but a black suit, gold-rimmed glasses, and a serious expression on his face. "You must leave here. Immediately." "They know," he says. Ao panicked. "They? Who?" "Jabari. Mosi. He knows I've chosen you too. And he won't stop." Amara, voice shaking. "But why? We're just kids." Jabari, gritting his teeth. "That's exactly why. He's afraid of you. Becoming something he's never had. My trust." If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment letting us know where you're watching from. The smell of hot corn porridge still rose in wisps from the paper container in Amara's hands. Her older sister, Ao, carefully held the only bottle of water they had. On the dusty red streets of the Kibera slum, they weaved through the bustling crowd and the loud shouts of street vendors. The 10-year-old twin girls had been wandering the streets for 2 years now, ever since their parents died in a bus accident. A faint groan made them stop. At the base of a rusted utility pole sat an old man, his hair and beard snowy white, scratched dark glasses perched crookedly on his nose. "Please. Just a little food. It's been 3 days since I last ate." Ao swallowed hard. That porridge was their only meal of the day. But Amara looked at her sister, then gently placed the container in the old man's hands. Ao quietly offered him the water bottle. The old man's hands trembled as he received them, tears slipping down his cheeks. "Why? Why would you give me something so precious?" Amara smiled softly, because Mama used to say, kindness is giving when you have nothing left to give. Morning in Kibera was thick with dust and exhaust. Old buses sputtered noisily to life. Children screamed and played between the tin-roofed homes. Amara and Ao lived beneath a plastic tarp, right by a foul-smelling drainage canal. Some days, they found bruised fruit from the market. Other days, they walked for hours just to beg for food. That day, they had spent 4 hours collecting aluminum cans, just enough to buy a hot container of corn porridge and a bottle of water. As they were about to sit in a quiet corner of the market to eat, they heard a low moan. "Ao, did you hear that?" Amara whispered. "Yeah. Sounds like someone's crying out." They slowed down, then stopped when they saw the old man trembling beside a utility pole. His face was wrinkled, and his hands fumbled blindly in the air. "Please, help me. Just a little food." Ao turned away, clutching the container tightly. "We're starving too, Amara. This is all we've got." Amara looked at the man, then at her sister. She said softly, "Don't you remember what Mama used to say? True kindness is giving when you have nothing left to give." She stepped forward and knelt in front of the old man. "This is my porridge. Please eat." Ao quietly came up beside her and placed the water bottle into his hand. His eyes welled with tears, hands trembling as he accepted it. I can't believe this. You girls are so kind." "Go ahead and eat, sir. We'll be okay," Amara smiled gently. The man opened the lid. The warm scent of porridge rose up. He ate slowly, small spoonfuls, tears falling down his face. Ao and Amara watched him, their stomachs aching with hunger, but their eyes were calm. After finishing, the old man exhaled deeply. "What are your names?" he asked. "I'm Ao, the older sister. And this is Amara." "Twins," he said, surprised. "Yes, sir." "Where are your parents?" Amara lowered her head. "Gone. In a bus accident 2 years ago." "And where do you live?" under a tarp by the canal, near that faded green tent." The old man nodded slowly, as if carving their words into memory. Behind his scratched dark glasses, a strange light glimmered, something between sorrow and fierce determination. "Thank you, my children. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart." His name was Jabari Okoye, but back in the 1950s, he was just another street child no one remembered, in the town of Eldoret. Jabari was 10 then, the same age as Ao and Amara now, abandoned at a garbage dump, surviving on discarded watermelon rinds and sleeping in cardboard boxes. "I used to live just like you," he murmured, lost in memory. One rainy day, little Jabari was curled up when a woman holding an umbrella stopped beside him. "What's your name?" she asked. I don't know," he shook his head. "Your name is Jabari. Today is your birthday. Come with me." That woman was Mama Thandi, a fruit vendor at the market. Though poor herself, she shared her small tent with Jabari, fed him banana fritters, and taught him how to read. "Every day," she told me, "if one day you have more than you need, find someone who needs it more." "That's the reason we live," Jabari recalled. Ao listened silently. "You were an orphan too?" she asked. "Yes. And someone saved me. Just like today, you girls saved me, not from hunger, but from forgetting that kindness still exists in the world." He stared into the distance. "After Mama Thandi passed away, I promised myself I'd make something of her gift. I started with a rented truck and built Okoye Logistics. With every shipment, I remembered the first time she took me to sell mangoes." Amara gasped. "I've seen Okoye trucks by the gates of Kibera. They're huge." Jabari smiled, eyes filled with emotion. "But when my son died in a plane crash, I lost all my will. There was no one to carry on. No more family. I disguised myself as a blind man, wandering, searching for something. Until I met you two. What did you think when you saw us?" Ao asked softly. Jabari placed a hand on each of their shoulders. "I thought, this is a second chance, not just for me, but for you too." Jabari looked at the two little girls sitting on the curb, their eyes bright, their hearts wide open, even in the harshest corners of the world. Slowly, he removed his scratched dark glasses. Amara's mouth fell open. You're not blind." Ao took a step back, confused. What's going on?" Jabari's eyes shone with strength and clarity. There was no sign of blindness. "I'm not blind, girls. And I'm not as poor as I appeared. My name is Jabari Okoye." Amara gasped. "Jabari Okoye. Like the name on those big trucks in Nairobi." He nodded gently, smiling. "That's right. I'm the founder of Okoye Logistics." The girls were stunned. The hunger in their bellies was replaced by sheer disbelief. "You're a billionaire?" Ao whispered. "I am. But today, I wasn't looking for someone to help. I was looking for something real, for souls that still carry kindness in the dark. And I found them. I found you." He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a phone. A short call followed. "Get the car ready. I've found them." Moments later, a sleek black SUV rolled up at the end of the street. The driver stepped out and opened the door. The girls stared, speechless. "Where are we going?" Amara asked, nervous. "Home. To the home that, starting today, will be yours." Ao hesitated. "But, if you're really good, why did you pretend to be blind?" Jabari stepped closer, kneeling down to meet their eyes. "Because this world has too many people who are only kind when someone's watching. I needed to know who would be kind even when they thought no one saw. And you were." Tears welled up in Amara's eyes. Ao gripped her sister's hand tightly. Jabari opened the car door and bowed his head slightly. I can't replace your parents. But if you'll let me, I'd like to become your guardian, until the day you're ready to walk this world on your own. The girls looked at each other, their eyes filled with doubt, longing, and a spark of hope. Can we trust you? Amara whispered. You don't have to trust me right away. But let me earn it. A moment of silence passed. Then Ao nodded. Okay, but if you're lying, I'll protect Amara no matter what. Jabari smiled. And I'll protect both of you, with everything I have. The SUV slowly pulled away from Kibra. Inside the car, Amara rested her head on her sister's shoulder. Ao stared out the window, watching as their tarp shelter faded into the dusty wind behind them. A new chapter was beginning, and even they didn't yet know that this was only the start of an extraordinary journey. The black SUV rolled out of Kibra, gliding along the dusty red roads toward Karen, one of Nairobi's wealthiest neighborhoods. Ao and Amara sat in silence the entire way, their wide eyes taking in the unfamiliar sights. White-walled mansions, neatly trimmed hedges, tall gates guarded by uniformed security. The car pulled up in front of a grand estate. The iron gates opened automatically. Behind them lay a manicured garden, and a fountain shimmered in the golden afternoon light. The driver opened the door. Jabari stepped out first, turning to offer his hand. Welcome to your new home. The girls hesitated. Then Ao reached for her sister's hand and stepped out. Their worn-out sandals scuffed softly against the polished stone path. Amara whispered, It's like something out of a movie. Inside, the house opened into a large foyer with a crystal chandelier, marble floors, and oil paintings lining the walls. A woman in uniform bowed respectfully. Good afternoon, Mr. Jabari. The girls' room is ready. Take them upstairs, and give them clean clothes. Be gentle, don't frighten them. Their room was on the second floor, overlooking a rose garden. Fresh linens, shelves lined with dolls and books, and a bathroom with a bubble tub, soft towels, and animal-shaped soaps. Amara touched a towel and murmured, I can't believe this is real. Ao walked to the window, staring at the vast garden below. If this is a dream, I don't want to wake up. An hour later, Jabari knocked gently. Are you two all right? Ao opened the door. Yes. It's just, we've never been anywhere like this before. Jabari smiled. From now on, you'll have food, schooling, safety. I'll help you become anything you dream of being. But not everyone will be happy about this. Amara blinked. Who wouldn't? Mosi, my nephew. He always believed he would inherit the company. He's not evil, but his ambition has blinded him. You must be careful. The next day, the girls were enrolled at an international school. Though the language, uniforms, and teaching methods were foreign, Ao and Amara adapted quickly. Teachers praised them. These girls are bright, polite, and eager to learn. That evening, Jabari shared dinner with them. On the table were chapati, peanut stew, and fresh watermelon juice. Is it good? He asked. Amara nodded eagerly. The best I've ever had. Ao spoke softly. But you didn't have to do all this. We just gave you a bowl of porridge. Jabari placed his hand on the table. No, you gave me something much greater. You reminded me that kindness doesn't need conditions. And today, I'm just returning a small part of the debt I owe for that gift. Outside, night fell. But inside the estate, the lights glowed warmly, like the heart of a man who had once lost everything, now slowly rediscovering family in 2 children from the streets. Yet in the shadows, another pair of eyes watched. Mosi stood by the window of his private apartment, lips pressed tight as he stared at a photo of Ao and Amara laughing in the garden. "They're not blood," he muttered. "They won't take what's supposed to be mine." Time passed faster than Ao and Amara could have imagined. Within just a few months, they had fully adapted to their new life. Each morning, a driver took them to their international school. In the afternoons, they attended painting, music, and French classes. Once wandering street children, they had become admired and beloved. One weekend, the three of them, Jabari, Ao, and Amara, sat beneath the baobab tree in the garden. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting golden flecks that danced across the girl's brown skin. "Uncle Jabari," Ao began, "sometimes we still can't believe this is real." He gave a warm smile. "Neither can I. But sometimes the most extraordinary things come from the simplest acts, a bowl of porridge, a moment of kindness." Amara leaned into her sister's shoulder. "Do you ever regret choosing us?" Jabari rested his hands gently on their shoulders. "Not once. You haven't just changed your own lives, you saved mine too." After a moment of quiet, he stood and looked into the distance. "But I need to prepare you for something else. Life isn't only about love and kindness. There will be people who don't want to see you happy. Like Mosi." Ao squeezed Amara's hand tightly. "We're not afraid. As long as we have each other. And you." Jabari nodded, eyes firm with resolve. "I promise to protect you. But I need you to be strong, to be wise, and to never forget why we are here." Amara looked up at him. "What's the reason?" He smiled. "To be kind, even when you have nothing left to give." Elsewhere, Mosi sat in silence, poring over financial reports, photos of the girls, and corporate schematics. His expression was cold as steel. "They think they can take everything. I'll make sure they pay for it."